Here at Wenyeji TV, we are dedicated to bringing you in-depth coverage of the latest news, events, and stories from around the world. Our team of passionate journalists, reporters, and documentary filmmakers work tirelessly to provide you with accurate, unbiased, and thought-provoking content.
This is Wenyeji TV. This program is produced by JW as a special dedication to the viewers of Wenyeji TV from West Africa and the world. We give you a detailed documentary on the history of the Bongo family dynasty in Gabon, its rise to power and its fall. The Bongo family is one of the longest ruling dynasties in Africa, having controlled Gabon for 55 years. The family's patriarch, Omar Bongo, came to power in 1967 after the death of the country's first president, Leon Mba. Omar Bongo was a young official who had served under Mba as vice president and minister of defense. He was also a close ally of France, the former colonial power, which supported his regime and provided him with economic and military aid. Omar Bongo ruled Gabon with an iron fist, suppressing any opposition and dissent. He created a single-party system in 1968, with his Gabonese Democratic Party, PDG, as the only legal political force. He also amassed a huge personal fortune from the country's oil revenues, which he used to buy loyalty and influence at home and abroad. He was accused of corruption, nepotism, and human rights violations by his critics. Omar Bongo was re-elected 7 times, often with dubious results and allegations of fraud. He faced some challenges in the 1990s, when public pressure and international pressure forced him to introduce some democratic reforms, such as a multi-party system, a new constitution, and a national conference. However, he still managed to maintain his grip on power and win every election. Omar Bongo died in office in 2009, after ruling Gabon for 42 years. He was succeeded by his son, Ali Bongo, who had served as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Defense under his father. Ali Bongo won the 2009 presidential election amid controversy and violence, as the opposition claimed that the vote was rigged and that he was not eligible to run because he was born in Nigeria. Ali Bongo followed his father's footsteps in many ways, consolidating his power through the PDG, the army, and the judiciary. He also continued to enjoy France's support and cooperation. He tried to portray himself as a modernizer and a reformer, launching some initiatives such as the emerging Gabon Strategic Plan, which aimed to diversify the economy and reduce dependence on oil. He also pledged to fight corruption, poverty, and inequality. However, Ali Bongo faced growing discontent and opposition from the people, who were frustrated by the lack of social and economic progress, the poor governance, and the persistent corruption. He also faced several health problems, which raised questions about his ability to rule. He suffered a stroke in 2018 during an official trip to Saudi Arabia, which left him incapacitated for several months. His absence triggered a constitutional crisis and an attempted coup in 2019. Ali Bongo returned to Gabon in 2019, but his health condition remained uncertain. He won another controversial election in 2021, which was marred by an internet shutdown, arrests of election monitors, and changes in electoral laws that favored his party. His main rival, Albertondo Ossa, rejected the results and called for a recount. On August 30, 2023, Ali Bongo was overthrown by a military coup led by his cousin and commander-in-chief of the Republican Guard, General Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema. The coup plotters said that they acted because Ali Bongo was no longer fit to rule and that the country was facing a severe institutional crisis. They declared themselves as the new government and promised to restore democracy and stability. The coup marked the end of the Bongo family's rule in Gabon, but not necessarily the end of its influence or legacy. The coup leader, Nguema, is part of the extended Bongo family, which has many members in key positions of power. The coup also faced resistance from some loyalist forces, as well as condemnation from regional and international actors, such as France, the African Union, and the United Nations. The future of Gabon remains uncertain, as it depends on how the coup will be resolved, how the transition will be managed, and how the people will react. How has France influenced politics in Gabon? France has influenced Gabon's politics and economy in various ways, both during and after the colonial period. Here are some of the main aspects of France's influence on Gabon. France first established its presence in Gabon in the 19th century, signing treaties with local chiefs and claiming the territory as part of French Equatorial Africa. France exploited Gabon's natural resources, especially timber and rubber, and imposed its culture, language, and administration on the local population. France also supported the first president of independent Gabon, Léon Mba, who was a loyal ally of France and a staunch opponent of communism. France helped Omar Bongo, Mba's successor and the founder of the Bongo Dynasty, to consolidate his power and rule Gabon for 42 years. France provided Bongo with economic and military aid, as well as political and diplomatic support. France also benefited from Gabon's oil wealth, which Bongo used to buy loyalty and influence at home and abroad. France's oil company, ELF, had extensive business dealings with Bongo's regime and was involved in several corruption scandals. France intervened in Gabon's internal affairs several times, either to protect its interests or to maintain stability. For example, France sent troops to Gabon in 1964 to quell a coup attempt against Mba, in 1990 to restore order after violent protests against Bongo's single-party rule, and in 2009 to secure the airport and the embassy after Bongo's death. France also influenced Gabon's electoral process, either by endorsing or opposing certain candidates, or by mediating disputes between rival factions. France maintained a strong cultural and educational influence on Gabon, as many Gabonese elites were educated in France or in French schools in Gabon. French is the official language of Gabon and the main medium of communication, education, and media. French culture is also widely appreciated and consumed by Gabonese people, who enjoy French literature, music, cinema, fashion, and cuisine. France also supports several cultural and academic institutions in Gabon, such as the French Institute and the Omar Bongo University. France remains one of Gabon's main economic partners, as well as a major source of foreign investment, trade, aid, and tourism. According to the World Bank, France was the largest foreign investor in Gabon in 2019, accounting for 38% of the total foreign direct investment stock. France was also the second largest trading partner of Gabon in 2019, after China. France was the third largest bilateral donor to Gabon in 2018, after China and Germany. According to the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs, about 10,000 French nationals live and work in Gabon. These are some of the ways that France has influenced Gabon's politics and economy over the years. However, France's influence on Gabon has also been challenged by other actors, such as China, the United States, and regional organizations. Moreover, some Gabonese people have expressed their dissatisfaction with France's involvement in their country's affairs, calling for more sovereignty and independence. Does Russia have any influence in Gabon coup? Russia is not directly involved in the coup, but it has some interests and influence in Gabon. Russia has been expanding its presence and cooperation in Africa in recent years, seeking to challenge the dominance of Western powers and China. Russia has been providing military and security assistance, energy and mining investments, and diplomatic and political support to several African countries, including Gabon. According to a report by the International Crisis Group, Russia has been involved in Gabon's security sector since 2018, when it signed a military cooperation agreement with the country. Russia has also supplied weapons and equipment to Gabon's army and police, as well as trained some of its officers. Russia has also expressed interest in developing Gabon's oil and gas sector, as well as exploring its uranium deposits. Russia's involvement in Gabon has raised some concerns among other actors, such as France, the United States, and the European Union. They fear that Russia may use its influence to undermine democracy, human rights, and stability in Gabon. They also worry that Russia may use Gabon as a base for its military and intelligence operations in the region. Russia's reaction to the coup is not yet clear, but it may depend on how the situation evolves and how its interests are affected. Russia may support the coup if it sees an opportunity to gain more leverage and access in Gabon. Alternatively, Russia may oppose the coup